It's Shark versus Shark. Today, I'm testing the Shark AI Robot VACMOP and the Shark AI Robot Self-Empty XL Vacuum. It would appear we've got some cleaning to do. Hey friends, I'm Tasia Custode and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I share tech tips and app reviews. And ooh, do we have a good one for you today. Now, as you may have guessed, this video is sponsored by Shark Home, and they have sent me not one, but 2 robot vacuums to test out for you all. Now, don't be fooled. I'm still gonna give you my honest opinion. I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, the ugly. We're talking features, we're talking what's in the box, we're talking technology. Most importantly, I'm putting these robot vacuums to the test, and then I will render my final verdict. But first, some important information. So here's the deal. The Shark AI Robot VACMOP is a vacuum and mop in one. Yeah, whereas the Shark AI Robot Self-Empty Vacuum, well, as the name would suggest, empties itself. And both of these vacuums are smart. No, really, I mean it. They're like super smart. They're Wi-Fi enabled, have a great companion app, and work with your smart home assistant. And I will touch a little bit more on that later. They both also feature self-cleaning brush rolls with power fins. We've got a dog and a cat, and those two plus, well, this equals a whole lot of hair. It's a hair house. So having these brush rolls as opposed to standard brushes is really helpful for not only picking up all the hair around here, but the hair doesn't get as stuck on the brushes. So there's no tangled hair mess all up in those brushes. And trust me, you know, if you've ever painstakingly picked and plucked hair from your robot vacuum brush rolls, then you're really going to appreciate what an upgrade these brush rolls are. Plus, setup for both of these vacuums was a breeze. They took just a few minutes to set up, and then I let them charge for a while before setting up the Shark Clean app, which, by the way, was also really easy to install and use. So there are 3 main features that these vacuums share that I think elevate them among others in the market. And first is the AI laser navigation. This is truly next-gen intelligence. So the AI laser navigation uses advanced LiDAR technology, which scans the environment, ensuring total home coverage, meaning both vacuums continuously adapt to your home while they're cleaning. So they both detect and avoid objects that are in their path, and they do this really well. Plus, in the app that I mentioned earlier, you can set up no-go zones. So each vacuum will avoid any area you've designated as a no-go zone. Gone are the days where you had to put a physical stopper in an area to signal the vacuum not to enter that space. Plus, I find with the AI laser navigation, both the VACMOP and the self-empty vacuum do a really great job in following a neat path back and forth. They aren't heading out in random directions or doing the same areas over and over again. They do a great job of mapping out the layout of the floor. Second, each vacuum has an ultra clean mode, which you can select for targeted deep cleaning. This is so good. Again, you'll use the Shark Clean app for this mode, but with Ultra Clean mode enabled, you can target specific rooms or high traffic zones or just stubborn spots on your floor. So here's how it works. You follow the prompts in the app to enable Ultra Clean mode, and then the Shark VACMOP or the Self-Empty will head directly to the specified area on demand. Now, when the robot gets to that zone or spot, they increase their suction power and clean in multiple directions for an even deeper clean. So it's nice that you can set Ultra Clean mode only as needed when it's needed. And then the rest of the time, your Shark robot will be running in an organized pattern throughout your home. And the third feature that both of these vacuums share is handy cleaning customization. So as you'd expect from a robot vacuum, you can customize your cleaning to be either on demand or spur of the moment, or you can set a cleaning schedule easily from the Shark Clean app, or simply via voice command using your Amazon or Google Assistant. One of the best things about this app is that both robots will automatically receive updates with the latest and greatest features. Plus, with the app, you can also view cleaning reports. And of course, you'll use the app to choose suction power levels or mopping fluid levels for the AI VACMOP, as well as select specific areas to clean or avoid. The app is really intuitive and super easy to use. I have to say, having a smart robot vacuum is definitely an upgrade from one that's not Wi-Fi enabled. Because, well, as silly as it sounds, now I can do the cleaning from essentially wherever while doing whatever. Alexa, clean the floors. Ah, a whole home clean without leaving bed. So now let's shift focus and talk about some important individual features of each vacuum. And first up is the Shark AI Robot VACMOP. I still can't believe this is a vacuum and a mop in one. To start, in case you're wondering what's in the box, there's a lot that comes with the VACMOP. Besides, obviously, the robot vacuum and the base station, it comes with an extra set of side brushes, additional microfiber mopping pads on top of the one that comes already installed, and it comes with a small bottle of the multi-purpose cleaning solution. But the most important thing to know about the VACMOP is that it's only a mop when you want it to be. So you have to actively be in VACMOP mode, and to do so, you just fill the compartment with the multi-surface cleaner, and then you attach the mopping piece to the vacuum. And doing this automatically enables VACMOP mode. So once that's enabled, the robot vacuums and mops your floors at the same time, while avoiding carpets with handy in-app carpet detection. How neat is that? So Shark calls this sonic mopping, which sounds really fancy, but that really breaks down to about 100 scrubs per minute. So it's scrubbing the floor at a high speed to try to help break down stuck-on messes. So I put the Shark AI VACMOP to the test, and well, not to be gross, but my cat likes to throw up, okay? And she likes to throw up everywhere, all the time. I don't know why. Sometimes we don't see the throw up until the next morning after we wake up, or even sometimes after work. And you know where this is going. That means it can be hard, stuck-on mess. So I decided to let the Shark AI VACMOP do the heavy lifting, or scrubbing if you will, for me. So I put the VACMOP into VACMOP mode and put her to the test. And I will let you know the results of that test after we talk a little bit more about the Shark AI Robot Self-Empty XL. So in the box comes, well, the vacuum and the self-empty base, and that's really it. There are no extra side brushes with this one. So at first I was a little skeptical of the self-empty concept. I mean, really, how much can the base hold? How often am I gonna have to empty it? Well, it turns out that this vacuum comes with not just any self-empty base. It's got HEPA filtration that captures over 99% of dust and allergens. Yuck! Plus, the base holds up to 60 days worth of dust and debris. 60 days? I don't even know how that's possible because my last robot vacuum held like literally 1 day's worth of hair and dust and dirt. So I've been using this about a week now. What I'm gonna do is drop a comment below, and I'll also update the description to let you know how long it takes if it's within the 60-day period before I have to empty the self-empty base. Because remember, hair. But now on to the results. How did both vacuums fare in my house of hair? I believe where we left off, we were cleaning up cat vomit off of the floor. So, did the AI Robot VACMOP work? I actually quite liked the VACMOP. Will it replace having to manually wash your floors? No, but frankly, no robot vacuum will completely replace manually vacuuming your floors either. Sorry to burst your bubble. So I think the VACMOP did a good job with the dual action vacuuming and mopping, but I'm not so sure it would really scrub off like the super stuck on hardened messes. Where the VACMOP excels is its size. It's able to fit under my furniture, which is a major plus, and it's really great at avoiding carpets when in VACMOP mode. Plus, it did a really good job of initially mapping my house. Overall, I do think it provided a decent clean. The suction power seemed to pick up a heck of a lot of hair, and it did do a decent job with Dora's latest mess on the floor. And well, here is the mopping pad after just a 45-minute run in my house. Yuck. Another thing that surprised me was the noise level. I was actually surprised in a good way. Both vacuums actually run fairly quiet for robot vacuums. I was actually expecting them to be a lot louder, to be honest. In fact, the only time that noise is a bit of an issue is when the Shark AI Robot self-empty vacuum is emptying its contents into the base. At that point, it's quite loud. I timed it and it took about 10 or 11 seconds to empty into the base. And speaking of the self-empty robot, I love that you can set it to empty every 30 minutes and then it can continue with its cleaning. This is perfect for pets. The suction was also great with this one, and it did a pretty good job at picking up kitty litter that Dora has tracked through the house. Really, the only major negative I have with the self-emptying robot is that due to its button on the top, it doesn't fit under most of my furniture, which is a huge bummer. I'd prefer if this one could at the very least get under my bed, since I don't really manually vacuum under there much. I know, don't judge me. If you've got a bit more clearance under your bed, hopefully you won't have the same problem. Now, here's a rough breakdown, my overall review of both vacuums. On the noise scale, they both get an 8 out of 10 actually for overall quietness. I was really impressed. Now in terms of cleaning abilities, I'm again giving them both 8 out of 10. Though I will say, if the self-emptying robot fit under my bed, I would have given it a 9. I really liked that suction power on that one. Now when it comes to the app functionality and mapping abilities, the VACMOP wins for sure with a 9 out of 10. Whereas the self-emptying only scores a 7. I found that I ended up actually having it remap my house for me, and then it did fine. Now, in terms of their individual functionalities, the self-emptying robot gets a 9 out of 10 because it is pretty darn cool that she can do that all by herself, and it saves a lot of time, me not having to manually worry about emptying it every single day. Whereas the VACMOP gets an 8 on mopping. Now, it's really cool and it's really good and it does help me out, but it's not going to replace manual mopping. So to be honest, it's really difficult for me to pick my favorite between these two. I love that the Shark AI Robot Self-Empty is really efficient and empties itself, but it doesn't fit under my furniture and it takes up more vertical space when docked. The Shark VACMOP, on the other hand, is cheaper, doesn't take up as much vertical real estate, and can be used just like a regular vacuum, so you don't have to use the mop functionality unless you want to. And it does do a really nice job in my primary bathroom with vacuuming and mopping all at once, which does save me quite a bit of time on my cleaning because I can just set it and forget it. But of course, you're gonna have to empty the VACMOP realistically every 1 to 2 runs depending on the amount of hair in your house. Here's the thing with any robot vacuum. Realistically, no one robot vacuum or vacuum mop combo is going to replace manual vacuuming and manual mopping. They just won't. However, they do help. They're extremely helpful in keeping down the dust and dirt. For perspective, with the pets and my hair, we'd have to vacuum at least 3 to 4 times a week if it wasn't for a robot vacuum. But with the help of a robot vacuum, we just have to vacuum once a week. So robot vacuums definitely do save us countless hours of cleaning. So if you're interested in either of these vacuums, I have links in the description below. And I'm really curious to know, since I had such a hard time choosing between the two, which one would you choose and why? Leave a comment below. And like I said, I've only had these guys for about a week now. So I'm gonna leave comments below and as well update the description the longer I have them, 30, 60, 90 days on. So what do you think of these Shark robot vacuums? Would you upgrade or make the switch to a Shark robot? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, well, I want to know. So give it a like, a share, or leave that comment below. You can click right about here to subscribe to my channel and here for even more content like this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.